Hello there folks, it is TIJ Gaming and welcome back to the Formula 1 2014 Ferrari Career Mode on the Xbox One. And today it is time for the 15th race of the season. It is the Japanese Grand Prix around Suzuka. Of course, I don't have to tell you that unfortunately this 2014 Grand Prix was the terrible Grand Prix where we lost Jules Bianchi. Terrible, absolutely terrible. Unfortunately, went into a coma for 9 months after that and unfortunately passed away the next year in July. So, terrible really, but we remember Jules obviously, and I just wanted to pay tribute to him there at the start of the video because it's been nearly 5 years since he's gone, and it's quite incredible. All I can say about the man is that did meet him for a brief few minutes in 2013 in Belgium, and he seemed a really nice guy, and he was a brilliant racer, and it just makes you think where he'd be today. But anyway, on with the Grand Prix. 15th race of the season, of course, we have now won the last two Grand Prix. We finished second in Belgium. So 68 out of the available 75 points of the second part of the season have gone sus. So mighty impressive stuff so far. And the win in Singapore put us up to second place in the championship, just above our rival Nico Rosberg, who has completely bottled it, to be quite honest, against his teammate Lewis Hamilton. He beat him in Japan, but to start beating Lewis now for anybody is truly not enough. Our teammate Fernando Alonso wasn't helped. He's retired twice in a row in Hungary and Belgium, and that's really put the brakes on any development in his season. But the most important thing now is the Constructors, which we lead Red Bull in by 19 points. So we've got 5 races to go, and hopefully we can maintain that second place for that length of time. There's 150 points left in the championship because of the 5 races and then the double points in Abu Dhabi. So Hamilton isn't too far away from winning the championship at all. He's 70 points ahead of us, 73 ahead of Rosberg. So he needs 80 points to win the championship. So, 80 out of 150. That's, yeah, he's going to get it. Lewis Hamilton's going to win the championship. So if there's any bookmakers running bets on this series, put your bet on Lewis Hamilton because he's the only one to put a bet on. Anyway, here we go. Race 15 of the 2014 season. Here is the Japanese Grand Prix. Not my favourite circuit, Suzuka, I'll be completely honest. I don't know what it is about it. I know the drivers love it to drive in real life, but I have to say I'm not too keen. Probably because I'm not too good at the circuit, but way up on Max Chilton's time in Sector 2. You wouldn't expect anything else. We've mucked that last corner up a little bit, but getting out of it quite alright. What's the time going to be on our first lap in Q1? Should probably be enough to put us through, but let's see what it is. It is a 1:40.8. Not quite up to the standard Danny Rick at the top of those times yet, but should be just about enough to put us through into Q2 just fine. I mean, to be quite honest, we were about a second off, I think, in Singapore, so we have got a chance to try and get up to standard in the next few laps. But we've got 3 laps worth of fuel, so we might as well use it, get a little bit of practicing. Of course, I don't do the practice sessions. This is very much our first exposure to the circuit, but I'll show you in just a minute how we got on in those 2 laps, if we can improve, and more importantly, whether we can get through the session, which I think with that lap, we just about have. Well, this is a little bit different. Sergio Perez, first in the session. I'm guessing he's on the primes. We might be impressive on the... sorry, I expected on the options rather than the primes, and he was. Good lap from him nonetheless, and he takes first in the session. We're alongside our compatriot Jenson Button in 13th and 14th respectively, and Maldonado and Gutierrez join the usual suspects out of Q1. So Romain Grosjean and Adrian Sutter, their 2 teammates, get through. But great to see Sergio Perez top of the times, although unfortunately I don't think his pace on the primes is going to be as good. Well, this is a little bit worrying, to be honest, on our bank lap in Q2. We are nowhere near the time. I know Sergio Perez was quick in the first session, but he's in 10th in Q2, and we're 7 tenths off, nearly, well, over 3/4 of a second off the time of Sergio Perez. I think it was a 40.8 we set in the last session, but if 39.8 is what we need to get to, I mean, we're a second off Perez. This is worrying. I don't quite know what the problem is, to be honest. I said that Japan wasn't my best circuit, but you'd think the performance of the car would be enough to get us through. But this could be a big shock compared to what we've been used to recently. We could be out in Q2. Well, this is shocking. It really is. Second time round, we were 3 tenths up on our time in Sector 1, so I thought, we could have a decent chance. We were just above Sergio Perez, but as you can see, we've lost again 3/4 of a second in Sector 2. We've got 4 minutes to go. We've got another lap's worth of fuel. And, well, we've hit the DRS a little bit late. So that could be that lap gone. But goodness me, I cannot believe this. We've got probably one lap to go because we haven't really got time after this to come back to the pits and get back out there. We've got one lap to save our qualifying. This is quite unbelievable. Don't know what to say. Well, the results of this sector will determine whether we make one of two choices. We either come back in the pits, try and get a tyre change done ASAP and come back out. Well, that's going to be very tight. I don't think we'll be able to do it. Or we continue this lap. It all depends what this sector looks like. It's not going to be great. I mean, it's slightly up, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to come in the pits. I'm going to come in the pits. It's going to be tight, that's for certain. It's going to be tight to get this tyres changed and get back out there again. Braking just before the pit limiter line, but this is dramatic. The team have got to wheel us in nice and quick and get us back out there again. I don't think there's going to be time, folks. We could well be out in Q2. This, compared to our recent form, I know I said I didn't like Japan, but this is a disaster. Going to hate Japan even more now. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. 22 seconds to go. Dragging the car like complete mad. It's not focused on the timing beam. Could make a mistake. Just make sure we get this clean. I think we're going to do it. I think we're just about going to get a chance. By virtue of 5 seconds, we get one more chance. Come on, we've got to get it right this lap, or else we're going to qualify in the 7th row. Sector 1's good. 2/10 better than Perez, but we all know it's Sector 2 where we lose the time. Don't know if it's through Spoon Curve or the previous corner, I can't tell. That's not too bad. Put the power down ASAP. Got a little bit of slipstream from the car ahead. That will help. 21.3 I think we're aiming for in this sector. It's close. It's 8/10 better. This is going to be mighty close. Can we get into Q3? All depends on these last 2 corners now. Not great. A little bit of a slide. This is going to be close. Rosberg sets a new fast lap. Just going to come in. I don't think it's going to happen. And we're out. Not what we were looking for at all. Well, we qualify in 12th at least. It was a good effort. I don't know whether taking that line maybe towards the line didn't help. But I thought it might have given us a good line. But nevertheless, it's a big shock. We're out in Q2. Going to start in P12 tomorrow. Perez just about gets through. He'll be counting his lucky stars. He's way off the pace of the rest. But Kevin Magnussen, what a lap from him. That is mighty impressive. So it's a recovery job today. We clearly haven't got much pace around here, so the start is going to be absolutely crucial. So let's go for the Grand Prix. And by the way, it's going to be dry. So unfortunately, no good strategy can be involved today. Just a bit of luck and good competitive driving. It's going to be a different challenge today. We're not fighting at the front. Red Bull have taken full advantage. 2 cars on the first 2 rows. Fernando's had a bad session as well, which might suggest that perhaps it's car performance that's lacking here and not necessarily our personal performance. 6th place is where we need to get to today. That should be something we can hopefully get to. We are faster than the guys ahead, hopefully. 5 lights are on and we are away for the Japanese Grand Prix. This is the big place where we can make movement. The start didn't seem too great for Fernando, to be honest, but this isn't the best of corners to make moves at, to be honest. We've already got past Jensen, but past Perez we go. Magnussen as well. It'd be aggressive, go up the inside of Alonso and the next car. Hulkenberg's into 5th. We're going to be squeezed here by Massa, but Bottas gets back through. Alonso's next. We can't quite get past him, but a good start nonetheless. We're aggressive at the start and we gain 5 places on the start. You can see already that we're starting to lose a little bit of ground. Daniel Ricciardo is pulling away, so he might well have won his first race for a while. We go wide there. That's not helped us whatsoever, and Massa's right on our back, but luckily, apart from Massa and Magnussen, we are free of pretty much anybody else. But just look at that gap that everybody else is pulling out. We are not strong around here, and we've gravel on our tyres as well. That is absolutely not going to help our grip. You would think, though, that Hulkenberg would start to slide back a little bit. Surprising that he's all the way up in 5th. But we're making mistake after mistake at this race start. Felipe Massa very nearly ahead. We actually tag him. The Lotus of Grosjean, I can only presume that's going to be. He's up to 10th. That's mighty impressive from him. But, yeah, I think we're going to have to wait till the pit stops to make a serious move, unless we can get some consistency. I mean, we are absolutely all over the place here. Magnussen goes through temporarily, but we just shut him out on the inside. It's, well, this is a complete disaster. After being so clean in races before, we are holding up a train of drivers here. We clearly haven't got the pace. The top 6 have completely gone. This is very much going to be damage limitation in this race. Well, look at this. Kevin Magnussen alongside us on the straight. He's got ahead for the moment, but 130. It's very much Alonso Schumacher-esque. I think Magnussen's probably going to duck out before the corner. Not going to be brave enough to go for it. And absolutely not. He very much ducks out of that one. As you can see, though, up ahead, there's a train behind Nico Rosberg, but we can't make any inroads on that whatsoever. Alonso leads us by 5.5 seconds. Quite unbelievable, really. Daniel Ricciardo is checked out at the front. Rosberg second. And only presuming to Lewis third. Vettel fourth. And Hulkenberg fifth. Just for a bit of context of how far we're off, we've just set, I mean, it's not our best lap, sure, 42 dead. Rosberg has set a 39.8, I think that was, or even a 39.2, I can't remember what it was on the screen, but equally, he's way ahead of us, and so are the top six. They've absolutely checked out ahead. We'll have a quick look after these S's at what the top six looks like, but it looks like 7th will probably be our result today. Again, which is really disappointing compared to the results we've been getting recently. But sometimes just some tracks don't click. I'm quite excited, though, for the Russian Grand Prix. I feel like we've definitely got a chance there. This is pit stop lap, by the way. I've not just come back for the crack. But as you can see, Alonso is 10 seconds ahead. And really surprisingly, he hasn't been able to get ahead of Nico Hulkenberg yet, who's in 5th. And really, it's as I expected it to be. Roman Grosjean 10th, Button down in 13th. Not very good for him. But Jean-Eric Vergne and Daniel Kvyat both already pitted. So Toro Rosso either going for a different strategy or they had a collision at the start. Who knows? Right, okay, here we go. Time to come into the pits. Looks like Hulkenberg, Vettel and Lewis have come in because obviously Rosberg is indicated by a blue light. He is our rival. But Massa and Grosjean coming in, it seems. Hopefully we shouldn't be held up. We are held up slightly, maybe by about 6/10 by Roman Grosjean there. But who's that that's just come out? Lewis has lost a lot, I think. Was it Lewis? No, it wasn't Lewis. It seems somebody lost quite a bit there. But there's Massa. So we're back ahead of Massa quite comfortably. That's okay. I don't think we're going to jump anybody in the pits here, to be honest. Just got to make sure that we aren't jumped ourselves by Kevin Magnussen. So where are we going to be after these pit stops then? Marcus Ericsson's the man ahead. I don't think he's going to jump us. But Kevin Magnussen... I don't think there's anybody else really that was in the immediate vicinity behind us that you would think would get past. We've been on rich fuel mix all lap. Let's see who we're going to be. We're going to be definitely in 10th. There's the 3 there. But those are 3 other cars coming out. Can we jump all of those? There's Magnussen. And we just about get past. That is lucky. Massa just ahead. So really, things haven't changed massively in the pit stops. Alonso's got past of Hulkenberg, which is great to see. Hamilton's jumped Rosberg, but I think this is pretty much how it's going to stay for the rest of the race, to be honest. Not the most exciting race, I must confess, but the positive thing is that we've managed to recover to some sort of points. I think really we gained those places at the start, and we knew that we had a glimmer of hope, didn't we, that we would get past Nico Hulkenberg, but even he's been too quick for us today. We just haven't had the pace, truthfully, and again, another mistake. I just don't like this Suzuka track at all, and it seems that that's really not paid off today. We've been far slower than anybody else. Hulkenberg, as you can see, just on the left of the picture now, is quite a way behind everybody else. Actually, Alonso's got past Lewis, so Lewis seems to have potentially had a problem. Yeah, 144.9 on lap 10, so he must have been off somewhere, and he's down to 5th place. So Vettel's on the podium as it stands, and Fernando's going to finish 4th. I don't know whether these tyres have gone off or what, but we're potentially going to lose another place here to Kevin Magnussen. But I don't know if it's set up, the car or what, but it just doesn't feel right today. We haven't been able to get tuned in, at least by now. Even if we have a bad race, we're on the pace, but it's not been great all day. I mean, we're 20 seconds behind Nico Hulkenberg. That's nearly a pit stop in a 25% race. That is criminal, but every little helps. 6 points today, a completely damaging race, to be quite honest, because I don't think it quite has, but it's nearly undone all the good work we've done recently. I'll tell you what, it's very overcast. If this race went on for any longer, there might be potential of rain, but it ain't going to happen in the next 1 minute and 40 odd seconds, that's for certain. But Nico Rosberg now leads the Grand Prix. Rosberg leads. So Daniel Ricciardo's lost that first place. From what we saw, which believe me wasn't much because they actually absolutely pulled away really quick. But from what we saw, Daniel Ricciardo had checked out. He'd won the race by a mile, but clearly not. So Rosberg's going to win here. Ricciardo second, Vettel third, and Fernando Alonso fourth. So that doesn't help us whatsoever, really. Hamilton's the one that can go and win, take maximum points. We're not too bothered about him, but all of our rivals are going to outscore us today by quite considerable amounts. So Rosberg's going to take not the impetus, he's going to take the lead again in that in that battle for second, and he's going to take that by quite a bit, so that's not going to help at all. We're going to need quite a recovery in the next few races, but Russia, US, Brazil, and then we round out the season with Abu Dhabi. So 4 races to get excited for. Again, I'm just not a fan of Suzuka driving around it, but clearly not a fan, and disaster are 2 words that are a little bit different from each other. It's been a disaster today, finishing 7th, particularly compared to our previous results. Nico Rosberg wins the race. It's going to be in 2nd, Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel 3rd, so a double Red Bull podium. That's going to damage us so much in that Constructors' battle. In fact, I think that Red Bull might actually take the lead back after we had a real solid lead against them. They're going to gain what they get, so they get 33 points. We get 18 points, so not quite. But we come across the line, and I guess we can be happy with the result, but not really. Particularly after what we've done recently, we come across the line and finish in 7th. Our lowest finish, apart from that Hungarian Grand Prix, since the Spanish Grand Prix, I think. Obviously the Canadian one as well, I forgot about that. But just look at our pace. Not great at all. It's Alonso, though, who gets on the podium ahead of Ricciardo. That is music to my ears, but must have been something going on between Ricciardo and Hamilton for them to drop that low. No points for Bottas there. It's a shocker. Only 1 point for Williams as a whole. That is really shocking. But in the championship, as you can see, Rosberg has jumped back ahead of us, which isn't great. He's got a 16-point lead back, and we have, well, just about maintained that lead against Red Bull in the Constructors. But that was a complete write-off, wasn't it? It wasn't the best race in the world, but hopefully we'll be back to form in Russia. What I'm looking forward to, of course, in real life, the inaugural Russian Grand Prix. So I'm looking forward to it. Oh, here we go. Is Jones leaving Ferrari? Well, let's see what stupid offers we've been given this time. We've got 2 contract offers. If it's bloody Russia and Caterham again, they can bugger off. I mean, why would I want to be number 2 for Toro Rosso? Or number 1 for Sauber, for that matter. Don't get it. Don't get it at all. Very bizarre. But Russian Grand Prix coming up next. No rain forecast. It should be a good race. And I quite like Russia, so quite looking forward to that one. But if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment your thoughts as well. And subscribe for the last 4 F1 races coming up on next Tuesday, Saturday, and then, of course, the week after that as well. But quite a bit to gain on Nico Rosberg. He's 58 points behind Hamilton now, so he's dragged it back a little bit. But 125 points left. It has to be said, really, that Hamilton still has this wrapped up. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to continue to take care and stay safe during these times in the world. But until the next time, I've been TIJ Gaming. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye for now.